Dear Santa, dear Santa, I'm writing you this letter 'cause Christmas is near. Dear Santa, dear Santa, I've been good all year, so let me ask you for this. Could you give us, dear Santa, a movie better than this slop? Dear Santa, dear Santa, more streaming shit, it's finally here. Fucking cancel goddamn Christmas. It's not worth it. Dear Santa is a Paramount Plus original, directed by Bobby Farrelly. Remember the Farrelly brothers when they did their Something About Mary, and they did comedies that had life and energy and a lot of offensive shit that really wouldn't fly today? Yeah, well, one of them now did this. Whatever the fuck this is. It's like a Hallmark movie with like 2 stars and then some other people populating this syrupy sweet story that really doesn't dive into the minutia of its halfway decent premise. Can you tell that I didn't like this movie? I wonder if you can tell that. Should I make it fucking clear that I fucking hated this abysmal goddamn slop? And I didn't expect anything from it. I'll get into the plot here in a bit if I feel like it. I didn't expect much based on the trailer. Jack Black is in it, Keegan-Michael Key, and that's really about it for the star power. I mean, there is Post Malone, if you consider him a star, which quite frankly I don't. But he has popularity among the hip-hop community. No, AJ, don't say it like that. Yeah, there are a few other people in this. You may recognize some of them. And there is a boy named Liam. No, not Liam Gallagher. It would have made more sense for these brothers to fight. That would have been a little bit difficult in a spoiler part I'll get to later on. Liam is a little boy played by Robert Timothy Smith, which sounds like a name way too snooty to be involved in this. He writes a letter to Santa, but he has learning differences, aka he's dyslexic, and figure it out. If you can't figure it out from that, then please for the love of God, don't do anything. Don't even try to turn on the oven. Don't try to cook anything, on a stove. Don't do anything except order food and make sure that they decide your order, because clearly you can't figure shit out. That's mean, but this movie... I'm only watching this because it was a request from multiple people. Again, I didn't expect much from this. Yeah, Jack Black shows up and he's not Santa. Again, if you can't figure it out based on the spelling. So, yeah, Bobby Farrelly, by the way, has directed some movies, like There's Something About Mary. Osmosis Jones. Who the fuck remembers Osmosis Jones? I wish I didn't. He also did Me, Myself, and Irene. He did Fever Pitch, which was acceptable, I guess. He did the 2012 Three Stooges movie, which wasn't acceptable, and Champions, a movie that I heard about, but I never got around to. 3 different people wrote this. So, Peter Farrelly, who's done a lot of stuff with Bobby, I know how utterly shocking. And Ricky Blitt, who did Family Guy and The Ringer, which I hated The Ringer, and also Dan Ewan, who did Playing with Fire. I never actually got around to watching all of Playing with Fire. I got like maybe 10 minutes into it and I said, no, I'm not doing this. I can't do this. I may review it at some point, but Jack Black plays Satan. Yeah, there you go. That's the plot thing. And Liam wants to, find a girl, or, basically get the attention of a girl he likes. He wants to help his best friend. And he's granted 3 wishes, and then Satan will take his soul. The thing is, this movie doesn't even really bother sticking with that, which, yes, I don't expect too much of, plot development when it comes to a Christmas movie like this. But instead of going with some horror elements, and going with something that might have actually made it good, no, we just go with the same typical shit where really no character development happens at all. I mean, actually, it's almost impressive how this movie somehow is trying to go forward while staying stuck in fucking neutral. Or stuck in fucking park, because technically if you're in neutral, you can go forward. Forwards, not backwards, upwards, not forwards, and always twirling, whirling towards hell, which is where this movie belongs. You get an attempt at emotional depth, which might have worked had this movie actually had any semblance of decent character development, or characters in general. Keegan-Michael Key has been in a ton of bad shit lately. I mean, granted, Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey was not exactly recent. It was in the last few years, but he was in that, and he's been in others. Actually, The Prom was fine, and Super Mario Brothers was fine, and he's been in some decent stuff. I just don't know what the fuck he's doing here. Jack Black used to be in good movies. He was also in Year One that wasn't so good. This is a terrible movie. This is 1,000% terrible. It didn't put me in the Christmas spirit, except to make me think cancel Christmas is not worth it. Not as bad as Red 1, but Red 1 was a bigger budgeted version of just Christmas slop. Why am I saying it like that? I don't know. Nevertheless, I'm getting into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, you have his best friend, Gibby, Liam's best friend, Jason Carson Baker, who is a nice kid, and he has fake teeth, because we need to make those jokes in 2024. And recently the family moved to, this particular place in Georgia. I only know that from the license plates. Seriously, I didn't know where the fuck this movie took place. Not that I necessarily care, because I really don't ever want to even acknowledge that this actually took place in an actual town. How dare this town have this movie take place in? How dare you? Have some goddamn standards. So nevertheless, Liam basically lost his brother. And that's part of the reason why they moved to this other town. The parents have been at odds, basically because one feels that the other blames them, and that's pretty much it right there. He writes a letter to Liam, or Liam rather, writes the letter to Santa. It's actually Satan. Oh yes, in the beginning of this movie, basically it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, except it's fucking not. This movie deserves to be put right into a fiery mail slot. Am I just being too mean? Am I just too jaded about movie and expecting them to be, anything more than just entertainment? The key word there, though, is entertainment. So, by the way, how'd you all find out, what age were you when you found out that Santa wasn't real? The idea of Santa, not that, but in general, I'm curious. I would have rather taken Art the Clown as Santa. It's Terrifier 3, by the way. You might as well check that one out, because, yes, shocking, Terrifier 2 was terrible to me, and Terrifier 3 was actually somewhat good. So, nevertheless, I hate this already. I absolutely hate this. The social awkwardness doesn't bother me, but the fact that this thing is so stilted with this dialogue from 3 people. 3 fucking people wrote this. How fucking brainless were these fucks when they wrote this? I mean, were they just basically held over an open flame and forced to write this stuff under tremendous duress? So yes, basically, he likes this girl, Emma. Eventually, when, Jack Black comes along, he's able to grant him these 3 wishes. He just wants Emma to give him a chance. Now, that's kind of a selfish wish. Okay. And of course, Liam is a fucking idiot. I mean, he's a kid, but still he's a fucking idiot. And he doesn't realize that that's actually Satan, because, now, granted, look, dyslexia is terrible, reading disability, inability or whatever, or crazy things going on, or stuff that goes on in your head where you can't interpret things the way, most do. You interpret things differently. That's terrible, and that should be something that needs to be addressed and everything, because dyslexia would be a terrible thing to deal with. The thing is, this movie doesn't really dive into that, and the movie also doesn't really make fun of it in a proper way, which, yes, the humor from, there's something about Mary Shallow Hal even can't translate to now, but you could at least try, and this movie doesn't even try with the humor. So, yeah, he's going to lose his soul after 3 wishes. Emma is going to give him a chance. There's this weird thing where there's this miniature set where Jack Black is a miniature Satan with a hamster that makes the hamster act up if he won't go talk to Emma. Emma broke up with her boyfriend, Aiden, who's kind of the class jerk. There's a teacher that knocks Charles Dickinson's A Christmas Carol. Factor that in because he's very insecure. God, this writing is shit. I hate all of this. Fuck every single character involved in this. Not the actors. I have nothing against the actors. And Satan used to have a son, but he doesn't want to talk about that. That's pretty much... We don't get anything else from that. Well, I mean, we get a little bit of a reveal there. So we go to a Post Malone concert because Emma apparently loves Post Malone. I don't care for Post Malone necessarily. I don't really get deep. I don't hate him. He seems like a nice guy. I don't get the tattoos at all. In fact, I think it's really weird. But Satan put a spell on him. And basically makes it like Liam's the talk of the town and everything. And then the parents see this stuff. But they think that there's something going on with Liam before that. So they have Keegan-Michael Key's character, a doctor, come in. A doctor, by the way, that is in like 3 scenes. And that is it. I mean, that is it. That is the extent of his contributions to this movie. So his second wish, by the way, was to fix Gibby's teeth. Which is nice, because you want your friend to be accepted. And even though people can be cruel, that's a nice wish. He just did it out of kindness. Remember that. More on that later. His parents bring him to a hospital after he's out on a date with Emma while Gibby tags along. This is after the Post Malone concert. And they're eating corn dogs in the hospital while Keegan-Michael Key's doctor character is talking to him. Well, there's no evidence of any brain issue or whatever, so he must be telling the truth. And man, these children are stupid. Man, these characters are stupid. Man, Bobby and Peter should never be allowed to write and direct another movie unless they are basically held down by a studio and said, make something good, goddammit. So Liam's kid brother died in an accident. Parents blame each other. And his third wish was to have his parents get back together. You know, basically stay together. Not just stay together for the kids, but stay together so they're all right. Okay, no kid wants to see their parents get divorced. I remember being just horrified by Mrs. Doubtfire when I was 12 and saying, wait, parents can't stay together. Again, I was 12 and lived a bit of a sheltered life for the first few years of my life. So the parents do go off on each other, but eventually they do get back together. But they end up getting back together on their own. More on that in a minute. Bad to the Bone plays, as now that he's lost his soul to eternal damnation, he knocks Aiden, calling Aiden a bully that is so insecure. Then he knocks the teachers' insecurities. Emma gets upset because she's like, I broke up with Aiden because I thought I met somebody better. By the way, we have 20 minutes left of this movie with the end credits. And we are just getting to these plot developments. This movie is an hour and 48 minutes long, credits to credits. So basically, Satan's influence. Well, this just will not end is what I wrote down. But then Satan is talking to actual Satan because it turns out that Jack Black is just a weird low-level demon that made that deal. But the deal's null and void because he had to make 3 evil wishes and he didn't make 3 evil wishes. So it's all null and void. And your family got back together, or your parents got back together on their own, so there you go. You finally stood up for yourself, kid. And now I guess the demon is just, whatever, Jack Black's just going to do some good stuff. He just kind of vanishes. It nullified his third wish because his parents got back together. And then another letter to Santa, because nobody learns in this goddamn movie. Nobody learns. God damn it. And the dad had made a wish, by the way, for a pony. Well, suddenly a pony shows up. And the kid brother shows up because now in this timeline, the kid brother's back. Oh, and then Gibby basically says, hey, I convinced Emma to give you another chance because I told her about your dead brother. And then we do that. And we're probably going to get a motherfucking sequel. And God, I hate this. God, I fucking hate this shit. God damn it. Dear Santa, please make the Farrelly brothers make better movies, or just don't have them make any movies at all. You need to find something else to do, Paramount. This is the best you can do. They had Gladiator 2 that wasn't all that great, but at least that was a big budget effort. At least Sonic 3 will save us. Please save us, Sonic 3. Help, please. F. It gets an F. This is fucking putrid. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Reckland. I'll see you soon.